Hello all! We just got a massive batch of new story and character leaked information for version 6.7 and beyond, and it connects everything that's been building in the Nodcry arc into one enormous payoff. In this video, we're going through it all. The Archon Summit, new combat mechanics, the Snezhnaya Prologue, and what all of this means heading into 7.0. There is a lot to cover, so let's get straight into it. This is a very active period for Genshin leaks. The Snezhnaya arc is moving faster than expected, and new information is dropping constantly. If you want to stay updated on every development as it happens, subscribe and turn on notifications. I cover everything immediately. Also, Loot Bar is officially back, and to celebrate, they've dropped a special code for 5% off. The platform has now fully restored top-ups for Hoyo games with upgraded infrastructure focused on compliance, security, and fast delivery. Service availability is now more region-specific, so just double-check the supported currencies on screen before topping up. Top-ups process in seconds, payments go through secure systems, and there's 24/7 professional support if anything comes up. Use these codes at checkout. Link is in the description. Now, let's get into the video. So, the information in this video comes from Team Lunar MW, a Telegram channel that aggregates and reposts content from CN sources, including It's Papa and Musha. The channel itself has no independent track record, which means you should treat everything here as speculative. However, and this is important, the information has been cross-referenced with established leakers, and it aligns very closely with the current story trajectory in Nodcry, the official to Snezhnaya and the future livestream that confirmed the 6.7 to 7.0 direct transition and ongoing beta hints. It's gaining serious traction precisely because it fits too well to dismiss. As always with story leaks this far out, subject to change, but let's go through it all. The biggest story development in this leak is the Archon Summit happening in version 6.7. I already covered this in my last video, but here's quick context. In 6.7, there is an Archon Summit. Tsaritsa finally appears in person alongside Columbina, treated as Archon level, plus two others, likely Venti and Weka, which is not confirmed. The second major story beat in the 6.7 leak is that the Snezhnaya Prologue takes place in Fontaine and Nodcry, not in Snezhnaya itself. This is important framing. Version 6.7 is not jumping into the Cryo Nation. It's a bridging chapter, wrapping up the loose ends in Nodcry, tying in Fontaine connections that have been seeded through the current arc, and setting the final political and narrative context before the traveler enters Snezhnaya proper in 7.0. The Fontaine tie-in is interesting because it suggests the main storyline and other threads from the Hydro Nation aren't fully closed yet. There's still connective tissue between Fontaine's lore and what's happening in the Lunar North that the developers want to address before moving on. Then, Sandrone is expected to be the new playable character in 6.7, the Marionette, Fatui Harbinger number 7th. Her debut ties directly into the Nodcry conclusion. There are hints of a personality shift when she becomes playable compared to her boss version, and possible sacrifice or redemption arc elements in her story. Her kit is expected to be cryo-focused with superconduct and stellar conduct synergy, which will make more sense when we get to the new reaction system in a moment. The merch characters returning in 7.0 and 7.1 with active story roles include Nahida, Skirk, and Zhongli. These are characters who have been prominent enough to get merchandise releases, but have been relatively absent from active story beats recently. Their returns being tied to the Snezhnaya arc suggests significant story development is planned for each of them in the 7.x patches. Durin is listed as an exception. He appears later in the arc rather than in the initial 7.0 push. The April 23rd post in the leak chain states that 7.0 introduces one male Dendro character and one female Electro character, and their names are already known to players. I covered this in detail in my previous 7.0 video, but here's the full context again for anyone who missed it. The male Dendro character is Pantalone, who is Fatui Harbinger number 9, the Regrader. His name has been known since the early game, as the Fatui's financial controller, the person who funded Dotori's experiments and bankrolled the entire organization's operations. He's been one of the most anticipated unreleased Harbingers for years. Dendro is the listed element, and it's generating debate. The wealth grows like plants symbolic connection works for a lot of players. Bloom and Hyperbloom are strong reaction systems, but some players are holding out for Cryo or Geo given the banker aesthetic. The element is marked with a question mark in some sources, so it could still change in beta, but Dendro is the current consensus direction. The female Electro character is Vada, a name that appears in Nodcry and Snezhnaya content and comes from Slavic folklore, meaning water maiden. Her teaser voice lines involve ocean waves and sirens singing, which made everyone assume Hydro. She's Electro, classic Hoiverse misdirection. And it makes gameplay sense because Sandrone from 6.7 is cryo-focused on superconduct. Voda is Electro makes her Sandrone's perfect reaction partner. Storm, siren, electric ocean, crackling wave aesthetics. The visual potential is there, even if the element feels counterintuitive on paper. A 4-star Cryo character is also expected in 7.0 per the same source batch, though no name has been confirmed yet. The April 24th post introduces the most gameplay-relevant information in the leak. 4 stellar reactions are coming as the new endgame mechanic for the Snezhnaya era. Stellar reactions are described as the successor to lunar reactions, which were Nodcry's signature combat mechanic. They're cryo-focused upgrades of existing elemental types, consistent with the Cryo Nation introducing new elemental interactions, as regions have done before. The confirmed stellar reactions referenced across multiple leaks are Stellar Conduct, which is Cryo combined with Electro, tied to Sandrone, and has already appeared in Diona's C6 changes in the 6.6 beta as an in-game file reference, and Stellar Swirl, which is a Cryo-modified version of Swirl. The remaining 2 are less defined, but some leaks mention Dendro combinations. The most interesting detail is that some stellar reactions have counterintuitive setups, main DPS operating off-field while supports go on-field. This is intentionally designed to encourage new playstyles and team compositions that break from existing hypercarry meta patterns. Whether this excites or frustrates you depends on how attached to your current teams, but from a game design perspective, it's a meaningful shakeup. The community reaction to this is split between excitement for the meta evolution and concern about favorite team compositions getting disrupted. Off-field DPS enabling on-field supports is genuinely novel for Genshin and could revive units that have been collecting dust. The counter-intuitive nature is clearly intentional. Hoiverse wants players approaching Snezhnaya content with fresh team-building instincts. Stepping back and looking at this entire leak cluster together, 6.7 and 7.0 are shaping up as the most narratively significant patches Genshin has had since Fontaine. The Tsaritsa finally taking center stage, the Archon Summit as a political turning point, Sandrone's story arc concluding the Nodcry chapter, and then immediately transitioning into Snezhnaya with 2 high-profile new characters and a completely new reaction system. That's a lot of content moving in the same direction at once. The sus label on Team Lunar MW is fair, but the overlap with established leakers and the alignment with the official livestream's confirmed timeline makes this information feel more credible than a typical anonymous forum post. Beta will tell us a lot more when it opens, and I'll cover every new development the moment it drops. That's everything from the 6.7 and beyond leak. Archon Summit, Sandrone, Snezhnaya Prologue, new stellar reactions, Pantalone, and Vada for 7.0. It's a lot, and it's all pointing toward the most exciting arc the game has had in years. Subscribe so you don't miss any updates as beta and official reveals start coming in. Things are going to move fast. Leave a like if this was useful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Loot Bar is officially back. Use these codes at checkout.